on air. So I think Pearl Jam won't be tomorrow night. It's a Friday the 28th June 2024. And just had the announcement that Seattle supergroup Pearl Jam have just cancelled their Tottenham Stadium gig for tomorrow night. I've been a Pearl Jam fan since 1991. Ups, been some highs, lots of highs, lots of lows with the group. Some of the albums have been mediocre at best, but always followed them and always been my favourite band. A band that stood up for its fans when it first started out. Never wanted fame, they shied away from fame. Even going so far as, after releasing Versus, their second album, not making any videos for MTV. Right the way through, really. I can't remember when they started making videos again off the top of my head, but they didn't make any for Versus, Vitalogy, No Code. Not sure there's anything off of Yield. It might have been Given to Fly, might have had a thing. I think they'll probably do The Evolution was the next video. So they shied away from everything. They wanted the music to speak for itself. But the one thing that Pearl Jam always did was look out for its fans. And in 1994, they took the almighty Ticketmaster to court over the prices they were charging kids and adults, but it was around the grunge era. Well, it was a grunge era, where they didn't want Ticketmaster putting any more. I think this could, feel free to correct me on this, but they didn't want any more than a $4 surcharge on their tickets to take them above $28. So they didn't want their fans paying any more than $28 for a ticket to see them. So much so that they tried to set up their own independent tour in fields and farmers' fields and venues that weren't governed by Ticketmaster in 1994. It failed, ultimately, and they went back, as most groups do, to using the monopoly that is Ticketmaster. And I guess they got back in bed with the devil. But, you know, we put up with it. And the ticket prices over the years haven't been exorbitant. They toured the US extensively over the years, sparing trips to the UK. We get the odd date here and there, but we're nowhere near as badly treated as some of the countries across the globe. Scotland, part of the UK, may as well not exist to Pearl Jam. Australia has been missed out. I think that they're on this tour, so they finally found the way. And this is a group that are approaching, all of them approaching their 60s. So the fact they're still touring at all is, and when you see groups like Guns N' Roses now, where Axl Rose's voice is absolutely shot to bits, Eddie still holds up fairly well, and the group still hold up very well. I've watched a lot of their recent Dark Matter tour on YouTube out in America and have thoroughly enjoyed it. In 2018, me and Wanda got tickets to the second O2 gig, which was June the 18th, 2018. They'd done one the night before and Eddie was a bit croaky. We had tickets to stay over. We live in Portsmouth, so we've got a car, drove up there, booked a hotel, to be told when we get to the hotel that they've just cancelled because Eddie's lost his voice. Absolutely gutting. Absolutely gutting. We go off to the O2, booked into the hotel. We're already there. So we go off to the O2, sit and have a beer at the Slug and Lettuce, and the phenomenal tribute group who were disgracefully treated by Pearl Jam. Pearl Jam with 2 M's put on a legendary gig at the Borderline Club. So it was the quickest selling tribute act gig in history, although it couldn't be corroborated by the Guinness Book of Records, obviously, because Norris Miss Squirter was dead. But they put on this gig and it was absolutely fantastic. And we'll come back to tribute groups in a little while. This time, in 2018, Pearl Jam were very sorry and they rescheduled the gig for, I think it was July the 16th or 17th. It was a month on at the O2. So they honoured the tickets, didn't have to do anything with the tickets. If you couldn't get there, they give you a full refund, minus booking fees and surcharges and everything else that gets fucking lumped on these days. And they rescheduled to the O2 in the July, and it was a fabulous night. Eddie made a point of saying that they were there to make up for the rescheduling. And then there's been cancellations over the years, and then they announced this Dark Matter tour. Obviously, Dark Matter, their new album, which was released in April this year, 2024, and thoroughly enjoying the album. Actually, I think it's really, really good. But there was some discontent with it. I've got some notes, so the stuff I don't want to miss, but I'm also thinking as I go along. There was some discontent from the fans for a band that had steadfastly stuck up for their fan base on ticket prices. The ticket prices at some of these gigs were, let's say, high. I wanted to do a video on ticket pricing, Pearl Jam ticket pricing, for a long time, and with what's happened today, it sort of ties in nicely to what's gone on. So there's 2 dates in England. There's one in Dublin as well, which happened earlier in the week, I think, or last week. You've got the one that's just gone on in Manchester at the new Co-op Arena, and the Tottenham Stadium one. And when the tickets went on sale, generally with Pearl Jam, you've got to be like that, because the tickets will go extremely quickly. Went to Hyde Park a couple of years ago for British Summertime in the Park. Being a fan club member, easiest pie to get tickets, and a great view of the band. It was fantastic. 80 quid each for the tickets, I think, for an all-day event. And then we get the pricing for London Stadium. And for the, not so much the Co-op, because I don't really look at the Co-op, because that's in Manchester. It's too far for me to go. Excuse me. But the London Stadium gig. Front standing, £280 plus. Rear standing, £150 plus. Seats, £157. For a band that's... And I know people can say, it was Ticketmaster. They dictate the price. Okay. I understand that. I can accept that. Surely the band have some say in that. So a band that are multi-millionaires, I don't get it. I don't get how, and that's why sales have been so slow. So even today, and we're going to get to ticket prices in a little bit as well, further ticket prices, you can still pick tickets up today. So neither the Manchester gig, I don't believe, and certainly not tomorrow's now defunct gig, sold out. And for a Pearl Jam gig in England, that's incredible. So we get the press release at 12:30 today that the gig's been cancelled. And I'm going to read the press release to you, for people that obviously haven't seen it. So let me just bring it up. Let's see how we can get it. Where is it? Pearl Jam. And it says, if I can find it, the Pearl Jam concert scheduled for the Saturday the 29th of June at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London has regrettably been cancelled due to illness in the band. The decision was the last thing we wanted to make, especially as we know so many of you made travel plans based on our tour schedule. There was simply no other option based on our current health and also having to avoid further damage. We couldn't be more disappointed to not play one of our favourite cities this tour. Despite best efforts, rescheduling was not possible at this time due to existing schedule commitments. We are deeply grateful for your support and sincerely apologise to the incredible Pearl Jam community for the inconvenience and disappointment. Tickets will be refunded at point of sale. So they've cancelled it. No reschedule, nothing. A day before the concert's due to take place. But today, up until 5 o'clock, they're still selling fucking merchandise for this gig that's never going to happen, which I find absolutely scandalous. So they're going to make money off of this closure anyway, because people are still going to buy merchandise, and they'll probably sell it on for an extra profit. Now it's the gig that never happened. Very similar to the June 19th gig in 2018 that never happened. So they're quite happy to still make money from the fans that have turned up from all around Europe and the globe for a gig that's never going to fucking happen. Should be ashamed of themselves. So there's no reschedule for this one. There's just no way they can get it in. That's a disgrace. So let's deal with the elephant in the room. So Eddie's feeling unwell, and apparently he was unwell in Manchester as well. And if that's true, being a long-term fan, and whether he's passed this on to some of the other band members, then I truly hope that they get better soon. But there have been rumours of poor ticket sales for this gig. The pricing by Ticketmaster has been fucking scandalous. £280 for a front standing ticket, and £180 plus for rear standing tickets. Cheapest seats were something like £150 each. So if me and Wanda wanted to go and do a front standing ticket, you're looking at the best part of 600 quid for 2 tickets with booking fees and all the other shit that comes along with booking a ticket. It's a fucking robot these days. Then you've got transport to get there, you've got food, and you've got accommodation. So you're looking at 8, 9, a grand for a day out. And this is from a band, I'm not just picking on Pearl Jam here, but they're a group that stood up for their fans at ticket prices. And this is the state of 2024 that we're in, where it's there, and then it's, people can say, well, it's not the group, it's Ticketmaster, and you've got Ticketmaster's is it called their affordability scheme? Tickets affordable for everybody. It's a fucking joke, absolute joke. Fucking affordable to everybody. People are fucking. It's like the guys that are out watching the Euros in Germany, in England, that are probably into a huge amount of debt for this. So people that are Pearl Jam, they've got non-refundable. So this has now been cancelled. So they get the price of the ticket back, less the fucking booking and service charges that they paid for it. They're not going to get back the non-refundable travel costs that they've stumped up, and they're not going to get back the non-refundable accommodation fees that they've put in as well. I think it's absolutely disgraceful. I really do. And it seems to me this band once stood up for what was right. Where's that band now? They looked out for their fans. What happened? Ticketmaster's affordability scheme is a huge problem because it's not affordable. But if you're gonna charge that much for to your fan base when you promised, or you took a company to court, and don't fucking tour. Don't tour. If it's that expensive, don't tour. You don't need the money. And when Joe Public can't afford, or they're stumping up money, you just cancel it without even hinting at a reschedule. That's not looking after your fans. It's fucking shitting and pissing all over them. And then to make it even worse, because sales were so poor, Ticketmaster started dropping the fucking prices. So the tickets that were, I don't know, I think there was tickets, they went from £150 to £96, some of the seated prices. And then last week they went to £49. And then this morning, the real kick in the teeth was to the poor fuckers that have paid £280 plus to stand at the front to be told they could get one for 150 quid. It's a fucking disgrace. It really is. I'm just apocalyptically angry. Not for me. Wanda got very lucky. She got 2 resale tickets. They weren't the best seats in the stadium. I didn't care. I just wanted to see the group I love. But she got 2 resale tickets before these prices dropped. I think the 2 tickets came in with all charges for 120 quid. And she got a fucking fair deal. Do you know what? 60 quid each. I would have paid that. That's a fair... In modern... I know the Foo Fighters I just played... They played London Stadium or Tottenham Stadium or Wembley, wherever they played. I think they're 50, 60 quid a ticket. Reasonable prices. £287 for a fucking standing ticket. I don't get it. It's really beginning to annoy me. And as for not rescheduling, that's just hammer blowing your loyal support and your fan base in the gut. Are you really telling me they cannot fit in a rescheduled date anywhere? They don't play from July the 11th in Spain, Madrid, to August the 22nd. Surely the Christ they could fit one in somewhere. Look, Eddie's undoubtedly not well. Apparently, he was struggling in Manchester. Or is it a convenient excuse? If he's unwell, why would he want to risk further ill health for a stadium that hasn't sold out? And I think that's where the problem really lies. Because if he was that unwell, why didn't he cancel Manchester? Because I think that was close to sell out if it didn't sell out. Whereas Tottenham Stadium wasn't even close. And Stone Gossard made a comment that originally there was going to be a second date, I think, at Tottenham Stadium. And if you look on Ticketmasters' website, there is still a defunct link to the Sunday 30th gig at Tottenham Stadium. And it obviously never went ahead because of the poor ticket sales. The audacity, whoever made the decision to open up those merch stalls and cream the fans even more, is nothing short of fucking breathtaking to me. It really is. The lack of common decency of people that have spent hundreds, in some cases thousands of pounds out of their pockets, borders on vulgar. Non-refundable travel and hotel accommodation, receiving only face value and not the absurd booking fees back. I'm so angry. I say not for me. I've spent 120 quid. One spent 120 quid on 2 tickets and a £67 return fare on a train. So we'll be 60, 70 quid out of pocket, whereas people are hundreds of pounds out of pocket. I've followed this band since 1991 and I'm almost done. Now, I'm going to get some shit for this, for speaking my mind, but I could sit here and say, oh, yeah, get well everybody, doesn't really matter, it's only music. And I'd be lying to myself, I'd be lying to you. What almost did it for me was, I mentioned earlier, when they postponed in June 2018, a tribute group called Pearl Jam, Pete Jam with 2 M's, stepped in and put on a last minute gig at the Borderline Club that's sadly no longer there, which was one of the best nights myself and Wander have ever had. And anybody who was at that gig knows how good it was. So much so, we became friends with the band and actually got engaged on stage at their biggest gig at the Garage in Islington. What did Pearl Jam do? They hit him with a fucking cease and desist order. Lads that are just playing your music because they love your music, making pennies after venue hire and all that sort of stuff, being threatened with cease and desist orders by fucking multi-millionaires. I thought Pearl Jam were better than that. Clearly I was wrong. And I don't get it. You have to put up with all the political bullshit that comes from this group. When it comes down to common decency, I don't think they have any anymore. I'll get in the shit for saying some of this. Don't care. As this band don't care either anymore. Certainly not about the UK. They just want to milk it dry and fuck off. I'm sure he'll make a miracle. Don't worry, people in Berlin. Don't worry. Because he'll make a miracle recovery for Tuesday and Wednesday. I think he got double bubble 2 nights running. So he'll be absolutely fine for that. I'm seething. I'm seething for the people that have paid good money. Have made huge arrangements to go and see this. Look forward to it. I wasn't going to buy tickets. It was only that I saw some of their American tour and saw how good they were playing, how well they were sounding. I was excited to see the new stuff from the new album. And then wanted to surprise me with early birthday tickets. And yeah, again, they shouldn't. They called it one of their favourite cities. The city you shit on the most. Probably, tour-wise. We only cancel tours when we absolutely have to, generally in London. I suggest, with ticket sales, this might be Pearl Jam's last venture overseas. They don't need the money. All approaching 60. Eddie's worth probably 100 million. He doesn't need the hassle. Doesn't need to be touring around the world, singing anymore. How much do they actually want it anymore? And how much as us fans, certainly in England, put up with this anymore? Overpriced, overcharged, and no real care apart from a heartless statement from a group that no longer resemble Pearl Jam. So the only hope we have is that someone might step in tomorrow. And if they do, I'll let you know if I can. And yeah, to everybody that's going to miss out tomorrow night, including myself and Wanda, what do you think? Am I in the wrong? Have I read the room wrong? I just fucked off. I'm absolutely fucked off. And I have a vehicle. I can come and tell you I'm fucked off. The Ticketmaster pricing has been an absolute scandal. People are pissed off. It was all over. They were deleting comments at one point. So that's me. 1991 to 2024. 33 years of watching this band, and I've never been so disillusioned with them. Let me know what you think in the comments box. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. There's a subscribe button. See you soon. I'm no conspiracy theorist, but London on the Dark Matter Tour t-shirt isn't even on here. Makes you think, doesn't it?